I almost lost my life. I was in a car crash on an M5 where the back wheels slid on some diesel, so my whole perspective has massively changed because I found that quite traumatic. So to me now, every gym session, every meal, every rep is a fucking blessing. Because it was only last week I was holding on for my day life thinking I'm gonna die any second. So guys, I'll send the videographer pictures of my car and the carnage, and he'll include that in his videos. Listen, nothing's promised, man. Go all fucking in. I'm living proof.
With that story that he just said there, think about it. He's just driving down the road as normal. I received a phone call. Louis, he was crying. I've nearly died. I said, how the fuck have you nearly died? 2 minutes later, I received pictures of the car. It was a wreckage. The only place that wasn't squashed was where his head was. And Reese was fine. I spoke to him an hour before that happened. Quite often, sometimes your life may flash in between, before your very eyes. Only then do you realise all the things that you could have actioned, but you chose not to. Now isn't the time for procrastination. Why haven't you emailed me and Reese to help you? Why haven't you jumped on the fact that we can time collapse and give you greater success than you could achieve on your own?
I hugely believe that your internal dialogue will have a direct impact on your physiological output in the gym. Therefore, your ability to reframe any negative beliefs that you have prior to coming into the gym will have a huge impact on the output, therefore the results.
Well done.
I feel great. My personal expectations for myself are extremely high. That's okay. However, you need to ditch the ego and listen to your body. So then, put 4 plates aside. Louis said how many reps? Easy 10. I squeezed out 2. Felt both rotaticals going pinch, pinch, pinch. Plates off, let's go again. Zero ego, but maximum effort, no excuses. Videographer was laughing. Louis laughed. It's not damaged my ego. I'm hench, bro. You little cunts. Hey, come on.
Good, there we go. Good. Good.
The mind controls the body. When you stop on a weight and you say, no, my muscle has given in, physiologically not possible. Your brain neurologically sends signals to the muscle that allows the muscle to contract. What you're telling yourself is, I can't actually do no more. You'll get an extra 5% out of yourself if you understood the difference and the connection between the way that you think and the lifts that you do. The mind controls the body, not the other way around.
5 more.
Oh.
We go 5.
I've got it, 5.
There we go, there we go. Yes, yes. Pop. What's that? What's that? Yeah. Let's go. Come on then. Yes, just 5. Big squeeze there. Squeeze hard, Louis. Louis, you're posing. Hard. Good. Stop squeezing when I let go. There, good. Last one. Up. Stop squeezing when I let go. Keep going, keep going.
This is without a doubt the most focused I've seen Reese. We're talking in 5 or 6 years. I know what happens to our life and our business when he taps into this kind of mindset. As lifelong athletes, one of our main goals at the age of 32 was to accumulate a sufficient level of wealth and financial independence. And in doing so, we really did lose our way with our core beliefs and values centered around fitness, but we fully got it back. And it's the most inspirational thing that I can be part of, the rebirth and the regrowth of the terrible twins. But guess what? We're not so terrible now.
2 more inches on the top. 60, 2 more inches. Yes, yes.
Good, mate, come on. Come on.
Life is about astronomical goals. Life is about having a vision so big that many people can't comprehend what it is you're trying to achieve. Could we be two of the first twins to become IFBB classic physique professionals? The answer is yes, because ladies and gentlemen, right, if you can see it in your mind's eye, it's a possibility. When you let go of all noise and all external validation and you focus on everything that you have internally, guess what? You've already got all of the resources to become everything that you want. This is me and Reese encouraging you today to go after your wild dreams. If you can see it in here and you believe it in here, it's as good as done.
When it gets to that point of feeling uncomfortable, two options: stop, retreat, go back, or push through, move forward, and conquer. Weigh up the pros and cons, man, it's on you.
I want to speak to you all about something that probably ain't in the forefront of your mind, conscious awareness, right? When you become consciously aware of how fucking deep you can dig, you start to push boundaries, guys, right? At the moment, you've got what we call self-perceived limitations. You think you can only go so far when the reality is very simple. You have fucking levels, ladies and gentlemen. You can actually do stuff that you can't even comprehend. You've just got to be willing to try. It's something that you work for. You know, it needs attention constantly. Just like money, just like success. The second that you stop thinking about it, it has a way of falling out of love with you. It leaves your presence. As we get closer to the Amateur Olympia in Denmark, a lot of people told me after the second show, after I won the British title, going to off-season now, you need to make sufficient changes in order to progress in these international shows. I didn't listen to anyone. I went on to do well in the Europeans and I went on to do well at the Arnold Classics. How a man like me works is very simplistic, right? As it gets tougher, I start to progress. The body is very much like the mind. It's a very resilient thing. Men like me need positive trauma in order to grow. What you're seeing now and what you're seeing today's session when I take my stuff off is genuine evolution through application and persistence. So many competitors, especially in the UK, they do a show, don't get the placement they want and go into off-season because they operate from an insecure place. I know that the harder I work, the more resilient I become. The more resilient I become, the better the result.
Me and my brother have gone through a massive shift, one in which we shared publicly, where I've gone from being a fat guy to a relatively slim guy, and Louis winning bodybuilding shows or placing in the top 5 in Europe.
Top 3 rude boy, keep going. You dieted. Listen, I have absolutely no shame in Reese stumbling his words when he's been dieting so hard for so long. What we see now in Reese is what the world should stand for: internal congruency. The reason that he's lost fucking 4 stone in the past 12 to 15 weeks is because he's realigned his emotional state with the vision that he has for himself physically. So when he's doing these YouTube videos and he's stumbling and he's looking tired, guess what? I want to celebrate that, because when you give 110% to your potential, you're going to have days where you can't can't cognitively think. You're going to have days where you can't act like you're a precision killer, but that's okay. That's what happens when you start to become more of what you should be.
Listen, shut up. Unless it's for 1.6, 1.8 million, I ain't doing scripts. You understand? So this means I can make a mistake based on how I feel. However, why not just show up as you are and who you are? Why are you always thinking about how you got to dress, what you have to say, how you're going to be judged? Because here's the thing, people judge you based on their mood. So therefore, if you change who you are to base an external resource, you're going to lose your true identity. So this is me developing myself personally online for the world to see, showing you all that anything is possible.
Do you see how naturally boisterous he is? Whenever we talk on camera as twins, the motherfucker always steps forward and does this shit with his arms in front of me. It's relatively off-putting, Reese.
It's okay.
I've got a message for you all, very simply before we sign off, right? You've got to remember, everything that you desire in life is inside of you. What that means is the vision that you have, the work ethic that you need, and your ability to execute on your potential can't be dependent on those around you. So what we're trying to do now is encourage a certain level of independence, right? We want you to know that if everything around the world was to stop and you was to carry on, you would come out on top. Now go and get what's yours.
And last thing, I'm sorry, not the piece. A lot of you are probably thinking, why do the twins have that energy or the fuck about? Because here's the thing, when you come from the gutter, when you come from nothing, when life has been extremely hard, you learn to take it in your stride and have fun. We don't do serious shit anymore because the world's full of fucking cunts and the world is a cunt. So what we do is we set ourselves goals, we inspire people in our process, and we have fun. If you don't like it, suck your mum.
And one final thing I want to say, and please take this to heart, real recognises real. There's no one in the world that can critique you for the vision that you have for yourself and the personality that you display. As long as you're congruent, ethical, you desire good for others, no one can say shit. Go big or go home. Peace.